Hi, it's Dr. Maggie Perry with Tell Me What You're Proud of. Today, I have on the show Larissa, and we'll be talking about preparing for the anxious moment. So, Larissa, thanks so much for joining.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, why don't we just jump right into the topic? Are there moments that in your daily life or your weekly life that you notice that you get anxious?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I feel like I'm learning to recognize my anxiety a lot better. And so I think I'm dealing with it more effectively, but it doesn't, I still get really anxious. And dealing with COVID has probably been um, one of the biggest things of my anxiety. But I know that I recognize now that I had a lot of anxiety way prior to COVID, the pandemic. But that, because I think we were so, everything stopped, all the things that I did day to day, like a lot of activities, volunteering and out and about, going to the gym, everything abruptly stopped. And I was kind of amazed at the amount of anxiety I felt, partly because of COVID, and I think just because of the whole change in my schedule, and
Yeah, that completely makes sense. So, actually, give us a little bit of a sense of who you are. So, well, who you are in and from the perspective of anxiety. So, when you say that there was anxiety prior to COVID, prior to the pandemic, what kind of anxieties would you experience?
well, I would experience, I think a lot of health related things, worry about my health or my husband's health. And my husband has had some pretty serious health events over the last, since 2018. And so, although I think I've dealt with each one of those things and dealt with my own, I mean, I feel healthy, but the fear of future events, fear of getting something, and what would we do? That I think really intensified over when COVID hit. But any event that my husband had, I think I dealt with it really well. But nevertheless, I think the uncertainty of what that could lead to, because we're both, in his 70s, I'm 67, and I never actually, I never really used to worry about that too much, because I really felt like I'd go to the gym. I did a whole lot of things that could keep me healthy. But I think underlying there was a lot of anxiety, and anxiety too about, well, anything that was out of my control almost, if I wasn't sure what people thought of me, and especially if it was somebody I really cared about, it was really very difficult to, a lot that caused a lot of intrusive thinking, wondering what are they thinking, do they like me? If I had any kind of, well, like when I was in school, when I was in school as a nursing student, or when I was teaching at part-time at community college, I mean, I would over prepare, and I'd think of all the worst case scenarios that could happen, and so it was never enough, and I was a good student, and as far as I enjoyed teaching, but if it was anything, speaking in front of a group, I got a lot more comfortable with it, but it brought up a lot of anxiety, kind of like not quite good enough, or you're going to blow it some way or another, things like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm hearing you talk about a lot of different types of worry and intrusive thinking kind of
Mhm.
across the spectrum. So would you say that it was all about uncertainty, like the feeling of uncertainty or loss of control in whatever area of your life, whether that's health or academics or work, social situations, I guess now more health stuff.
Yeah,
It's like the feeling of uncertainty that causes you
yeah,
a lot of anxiety.
the uncertainty of it, yeah. And would I do something that would inadvertently hurt me or hurt someone else, because I missed out something. Like when I did nursing or when I was working with students, would I overlook to teach them something? And then what if they made a mistake? And as a result, I was always worried that I'd miss something and it would have a bad effect.
So
I wasn't always like that, but that that definitely was present some of the time.
yeah, so the theme was responsibility or over
Yeah,
responsibility.
yeah,
It's really prominent for you.